Hi, Pisces. Welcome in. I'm your master cosmologist and the head cheerleader to the stars. I'm here with your May 2025 energy and tarot forecast. I'm going to forewarn you, give you a little heads up that everybody's have been pretty deep and a little bit heavy and darker subject matter just because the earth is in Scorpio and it is bringing some tough things up to the light, some bullshit that needs to be kind of finalized, done away with once and for all. Every single sign has two general themes that are presiding over their messages. The first is a term I coined called horticulture. And that is the combination of heart and horticulture, where we become true soul gardeners and tend our hearts properly, really prioritize our joy, our inner child's play, creation, creativity, anything that warms your heart and is a soul match. It's in resonance with your soul. There's weeds in there still that needs to be plucked. And then once we get the garden all tidied up, it's just good maintenance after that, really. The second topic is mana. Mana being the nourishment of the heart. It's what the soul requires to be a nourished, well-being. 911 on my clock right now. Mana also being the Milky Way, that nutrition that we receive from the stars. Mana is the very fertilizer, it's the enrichment, it's the good stuff for the horticulture, your soul garden. All right, Pisces, I'm working with Goddess of Love Tarot, 𝗤𝗏𝗄𝐿𝐴 Oracle and Oracle of Roses. We'll go right into the tarot cards and see what comes through for us, because I'm a Pisces too. I'm hearing you are risen. I have a rose. Ace of Cups. Beautiful. This is Venus, her transformation from what we could call an ugly duckling. She was never an ugly duckling to begin with. She was just misidentified. She didn't have great parenting to coach her and give her great self-esteem. There's just a lot of conflicting energy that went against the fact that she truly was this beautiful swan, right? And now she has nurtured herself, healed herself, transmuted the pain, done her shadow work. And in Aries, she really is this Ace of Cups. She's like, I am a swan and I deserve mana. I deserve all this. I heard liquid goodness, which is interesting because Venus just left a water sign for a fire sign. It felt to me, though, like she was pretty parched and mummified by the end of her transit through Pisces. It was pretty rough on her, where being active, being outside, engaging in activity that is nourishing and enriching and brings mana actually gets the juices flowing again and revitalizes and refreshes the physical form. It's like motion is lotion, which sounds kind of gross, but that's what I heard, getting the lymph system moving, getting stagnant chi flowing, breaking up blockages, exercising. I feel like we're going to be talking about exercising and body care because we've done so much soul work. Now it's time to really nourish the physical vessel. I'm hearing you need more hydration, but it's not inside. It's almost like you need lotion. Like Pisces is susceptible to really dry skin if there's not a moisture barrier, but it has to be something like coconut oil or cocoa butter. Wow, we've got some deep cards here. I'm not quite sure what we're pulling through yet. I've got Judgment and the Sun. The Judgment card feels handcuffed and bound and locked. It feels locked. It feels like it's under arrest. Interesting that I had 911 because who do you call? The cops come when 911. What I'm getting here is a transmutation energy of kind of being locked in spiritual jail, always judging yourself, always in deep criticism and judgment and penalizing yourself, forever beating yourself up for past guilts and shames, where it really froze your energy and it froze up your ability to create and produce and have any sort of creative fire. And that's being restored with Venus in Aries. I was in bed last night and I was channeling Sekhmet. The Sun card is giving me two different reads. It's giving me bravery, where you don't have the same fears. You're not afraid any longer. You've kind of rebooted yourself into a warrior goddess, warrioress goddess. It's essentially Venus in Aries. And at 0 degrees of Aries, it means I am protected or I am protectress with Venus there. I am protectress. I am very drawn to the tears. I know that they are rubies, but it actually is reading as blood, seeing violence. I feel like Sekhmet she's known as a goddess of war, but what I know through my work and discussions with her is that she's actually a peacekeeper before she ever brings the weaponry or the savagery or any preemptive judgment where someone would get stoned or sentenced to death. It's where she will prevent war at all costs, but she will also not stand for any injustices. My love and connection with Sekhmet is it runs so deep. She has taught me so much. And she continually teaches me how to protect life. It's interesting that the ankhs are at the earrings, like at the ears as earrings. She hears the battle cry, the battle summons that life is precious, louder than she hears any retaliation, any fighting for fighting's sake, any type of retribution. any type of harm that's unnecessary or unwarranted or unjustified. She has this great judgment where this stone judgment card with Sekhmet is telling me that she sits and contemplates before she launches an attack. Where she considers the cost, she considers the stakes, she considers a lot of different things. And she always hears that life is precious above any sort of anger or impulsiveness or snapping. Eight of Pentacles, life is precious. The garden is precious. There's a very Eden sense from that card, right? Protecting the earth protects all life. Get another card because there's a stumper here. I can feel I'm a little stumped. Why is this here? The Pioneer. Tell me more. It's interesting. I mentioned it with Aquarius too, where all of the zodiac signs are kind of expanding into unity consciousness, where what's going on with you is going on with the whole. And some of these concepts that are coming through per sign, it's kind of like this big puzzle, this big pie, and each sign has an aspect, a piece of the pie. And as we do our confronting, because I've got Sekhmet, like we have to confront it. We have to battle this thing. We have to deal with these things. Brave, very bravely, without fear, with pride, not afraid to be judged or stoned anymore. You know, we have to confront these things and look at them. I'm hearing humans are the only ones who have to pay to exist here. Like, what's up with that? Sekhmet is looking at this scenario. Oops. Like, who contrived this situation? She's like, money grows on trees. This is one of my themes where I say money grows on trees because I believe that money is apples and potatoes and pears, commodities, things that we can ingest, that nourish us, that feed us. We trade a bushel of apples. You know, not necessarily like that straight across, but who said we had to pay here anyway? She's looking at me in my mind's eye, scratching her head, kind of giving me this energy of being dumbfounded. Like, what? What? The Pioneer has another element to it that I'm going to pull. The Pioneer and the Ruler. Wow. Okay. I'm getting a crook and a staff here, a 𝗪𝗪 and a 𝗪𝗪𝗪, where the Pisces have to employ toughness and softness. You have to blend both You know, you had to grow a tough skin. You had to not be so sensitive. You had to integrate your dark side. There's a leadership quality here and leading by example, where there is tough love in order to change these karmic, past life, old world things. The fishies have to be both soft and tough, sweet and severe. You can be both. You're a Pisces. Not being just a doormat, not just being a yes ma'am, not just being a people pleaser. There's a time and a place to say no. There's a time and a place to employ the rod a little bit, you know? What else for Pisces? I'm hearing it doesn't mean anything about you. Like there's this old judgment that if you behave out of character temporarily, that defines you. Like you had to be a meanie head one time because the situation actually called for it. And forevermore, you judge yourself for that moment. It's juvenile. This is the Maiden of Cups, which is, I believe it's the page in this deck. Let me double check before I misspeak. Maiden of Cups, yeah. It says, unafraid of the expressions. A card of immense vulnerability and honesty, which is two aspects of that same thing I was just discussing, where you got to be really real and express it how you feel it. That doesn't peg you as a bad person because you have a moment or because a situation calls for it. There's something very deep here for Pisces about labeling, defining, casting stones of judgment, just because you got to bring a little bit of Sekhmet energy at people sometimes. It can't be all crook because then crooks get away with some bullshit. There has to be a little bit of flail. And I know that's tough for us, but this Maiden of Cups is saying that's actually extremely juvenile. That's very childish to not integrate your dark side fully, and that there's a time and a place for that dark side to exist and have an expression and to bark a little bit or have some bite. If you won't be damned, you won't be sentenced to eternal suffering. Eternal suffering occurs when we can't let both sides have equal existence. You don't want to be in all heaven, all light, and you don't want to be in all evil or hell full time. Both are wonderful to visit, but you don't want to stay there. This is big Pisces wisdom here. Like, it's fun to vacation there temporarily, take a swing, but we don't want to stay there because it would be torture of two different manners. It's too much of one thing. Meaning, if you suppress your dark, if you suppress having to sometimes 𝗵𝗻𝗍 head, pulling a little Sekhmet on the planet. You're not a fully integrated, mature, fully fledged adult soul. You're in this pubescent state and stuck there. You've never fully developed. You're not full-fledged. I was hearing that some assholes were getting away with bullshit, and I pulled up the Wheel of Fortune. It's a little graphic in the center there. It's like a stone goddess, and she's opening her lady bits. Very interesting. Why is the Wheel of Fortune here? It's like a Russian roulette energy I'm getting. Like a roulette board or something. Let's go with a 𝗤𝗏. No, it's got to be a rose. Can I get clarity on the Wheel of Fortune? Clarity on the Wheel of Fortune. You know, half of it's red and half of it's black. It's 50-50. There's something about good luck and bad luck and roulette, the heart. With the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so I think I'm being actually circled back to the beginning with horticulture and mana, where you can't leave it up to luck. You can't leave it up to luck, and you can't leave it up to a mystical deity, a figment to divinely bless you. Like, you have to give it to yourself. You have to ensure that that heart is blessed up at all times, and you're not just waiting for your fortunes to change. It's almost like your fortunes, Pisces, won't change until you change the way you treat yourself. It's a chicken or the egg that I'm getting here. Okay, now I'm getting it. It's a chicken or the egg. You won't receive the lottery money. You won't receive the good fortune. You won't change your financial circumstances. You won't change your luck. You won't change your fortune. You won't change any of that unless you first treat yourself rich, treat yourself like royalty, and stop freezing yourself. This deprivation, desiccation. Those are words that I'm hearing as I look at this card. Like this, it's almost mummy, petrified. There's zero mana that is infusing this body, so it's turning to stone. And it's because you're waiting for that special moment when the universe is going to deliver you magic good fortune, or like a magic winning lottery ticket. It's saying to treat yourself rich right now, even if you're broke, even if you got nada. You can give yourself a little foot massage or little hand massage and just let your body know that it's loved and appreciated, and that's pretty rich. That actually feels pretty good. When you pull cards all day, like I just did, that feels pretty good. That's a little bit of mana for my tired hands. Before I close you out, I'm called to read the Wheel of Fortune. I'm hearing honesty is your fortune. As in, you're being dishonest with yourself, or you're in avoidance mechanism mode, and you have to be honest with yourself and take risks, do those things you know you need to do, even if it feels very scary or like people will judge you for it, or you'll be stoned, or you'll be met with opposition or the lynch mob once again. To live out of congruence, to be dishonest with yourself, is actually a form of depriving your soul of mana, because one of the aspects of mana is that it's a soul match, you know? So if you're lying and you're living a lie, then you're existing in that frozen state. Okay, pay attention. Wheel of Fortune. Bear with me for 1 second. I don't like dead silence or pauses, but maybe there's something that we really need to extract here. And it's kind of a longer passage than some of the other ones. It says, recognize the work you've done to be where you are. One of our misfortunes is we don't even give ourselves credit. We eternally damn ourselves by criticizing, judging. Like, it's never good enough. It's never good enough. This is saying, can you please quit that bullshit and recognize what a good job you've done? Look at where you are. Look at where you were. Look at where you've come from. Can you please congratulate yourself for your come up for once? Freaking hey, Pisces. It says the Wheel of Fortune is the goddess's ability to lead you back to a path of wholeness. The goddess is the devil. She is the de-evolution. She is the corruption. She is the dark. She is the naughty, right? She's matter, which is inherently corrupt because it is broken down forms. This is saying you have to re-embrace and totally, completely integrate the dark to be whole, to really embrace the qualities of the feminine. And to embrace the quality of the feminine demands that the masculine has to rise up and protect. The feminine has to speak her truth and speak the vulnerability that there is, so that the masculine energy knows that it needs to step up and complement and work in unison. That's how you are a complete being. All right, Pisces, there was a lot there, and my brain's swirling because I'm a Pisces with a Mercury in Pisces and a moon in Pisces and a palace in Pisces, and just lots of Pisces up in here, which is making the two fish swirl and harmonize and blend and become one. It fully integrate, right? Which means I'm gonna have to post my flail message after I do this. Speak the truth. Speak my truth. Put it out there fully. And you need to too. I'm holding you accountable with my flail. That was a gentle tap to your tushy. All right, Pisces. I'll see you again in June. Bye.